By the way, I'd like to open today's show
Okay.
with something that's
You're
very
the
important
franchise.
and
Open
special
however
to
you'd
me.
like. Okay. Do I need a
Yesterday
pen?
on the show, we received a letter from Bootsy, which
That's
we
true.
read.
Yes,
we
we
read.
did. Yeah, we did.
Well, I have penned my response,
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
and I'd like to share it with you and the world.
You're a great orator.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Dear Paxton Bootsy Bishop, it is with great pride and honor that I am writing you today from the Cleveland Browns headquarters in Berea, Ohio. I was overjoyed to receive your correspondence earlier this week. On behalf of the entire Browns organization, we want to thank you for being such a great young man, a good son and brother, a lover of snacks, an achiever of Vicks and Fortnite, a great teammate, a wonderful student, and of course, a huge Browns fan. Your zest for life, for stuffies, for snacks, for gift shops, and of course the Cleveland Browns is what makes you so special. I really appreciate that you listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on the way home from school. I have so much fun doing the show with your dad. We mention you often on the show because your dad and I, Mr. Z, both find you to be endlessly entertaining and a legend in the making. I can't wait to see you at a Browns game, to play some hoops, golf, and enjoy transformative turkey this summer, and maybe even get 100 more Vicks and Fortnite, or perhaps go to the WWE shows together. I believe the children are our future, and if you are any indication, the future is bright. Go Browns, Nathan Zagura, Mr. Z.
How many big words? he's not even gonna.
As if he's not 10 feet
What?
tall and bulletproof already. Like that will only buttress. That's beautiful out of you. He's going to love that. Yeah, that will only buttress his 10-foot tall and bulletproofness.
I really
with your
enjoyed using the word
various
receiving his
your
correspondence.
Yeah. You know, when he read that, it reminded me of Kingsley Zissou. Like when Zissou would get the correspondence. That's what it reminded me of when you dropped a correspondence upside. Oh, that is good. Thank you. Yes, that will more than make his day. He'll be. Thank you, sir.
I'd like him to read it to class, to his class.
Yeah, he'll be excited about that. Be very, very excited. That's fantastic.
So the next level's next.
See you later.
Where are we going from there? I mean,
Nowhere. It's all downhill.
That's as good as I've got today.
That's as good as it's. That's beautiful.
You got my. That's everything I have.
That's 190.
Yeah.
Hitting the black, painting the corners.
You know,
baby.
the funny thing is, it took me 2 takes, not for the thought, but how often do you pen a letter?
That's it. You don't write.
So
You
I don't write. So
anymore.
I messed up like 4 words in the first 2 sentences, and
Yeah.
I was like, "This is I can't go on with this."
No.
Like I
So-
forgot the N in Browns, not because I know that it's not spelled it, but just my hand is not used to freehand writing a masterpiece such as that.
No.
An
correct.
opus.
No. The last time I wrote a letter,
You know what I write? I write
signature.
my name.
Yeah.
Every now and then, tax season, sometimes you have to write a check.
Mm-hmm.
So I write a check, which is
Yeah.
a date,
That's right.
a pay to the order of, and then
Yeah.
a number.
Yeah. No, I don't.
The end.
They were when I can't remember how old the boys were, but there was a teacher that I think they all had who like still did like penmanship.
Oh man,
Great luminary.
look at those
Largest of
ones. Look at the ones.
He's rocking the ones.
That's nice.
The penmanship.
Yep.
Right, so that they were doing the penmanship, and my wife was a big fan of this. That this was important that they learn how to write in cursive and do these things. Of course, you and I spent a great many hours working on penmanship when we were their age. It felt like it was something you did every day.
My nano demanded. He bribed me for penmanship.
He bribed you for penmanship.
Yeah, I would have to fill out the whole sheets. Remember I told you?
Oh,
that
yeah,
trick,
yeah.
And then I'd get like $10 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they were two-parter, one, when they were first being taught it, I would I don't know how to write cursive anymore.
So I'm a mixture. Like you'll see
Me
in
too.
there is half of a word could be in cursive and the rest of the word will be not in cursive.
No, me too. I'm a hybrid.
I'm a hybrid.
Yeah, same thing. So if like I thought to myself, like, I don't even know how to write a small b cursive. I don't know how that goes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, how to connect it all through. I
Yeah.
have no idea. Feels like it's that.
I think that was it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And then over?
Yeah.
Okay, because you all got to connect, and B's always tough with that because
B
you
is
want to
tough.
stop.
Yeah.
But I haven't used that at all.
No.
None. And you don't write anymore.
No. My boards are a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
and then like a couple words or play action, no play action,
Right.
and then numbers.
Your boards are probably for sure the most writing you do.
Oh yeah,
It's not close.
not
That's
close.
it for sure. Yeah, when you have all
one
the
board is more
coded-
writing than I do in the
Yes.
rest of the year.
Yeah,
combined.
I was trying to. I don't even know. I honestly, God, I mean, because I don't even. You're right. Other than tax season checks, there's nothing. I got nothing in terms of writing.
No, so it was
Yeah, so
embarrassing.
it's hard to like.
It was hard.
Oh, I screwed that up. I gotta. Yeah.
And so it's funny as I started with this guy,
Yep.
and I was like, I got to go back to
a felt
these are
tip.
the pens that I write with.
Yeah.
My hands know what to do with them, so I had to go back to that. But yeah, it took me. It was halfway through. I'm like, I can't write.
Get right,
What's
man.
the deal?
No, we don't do it.
It's a good thing cameos don't ask me to write my things out.
That's
I
true.
just get to talk.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm a professional talker. I'm not a professional writer. And hence, I'm not even involved in the mock drafts anymore.
Good. That's great.
Well, when you have a draft guru,
You have a draft
a
guru.
man of film like Gibbe, poring over these things,
Yeah, he's
copious. He's got some technique work to do,
Yeah.
such as
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's got a lot. He knows what he's locked.
yeah,
in.
It's all about the hand placement.
it's all about the hand
Hand
placement.
placement.
This is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Footwork, hand placement.
You know, the other thing that's fallen by the wayside from a skill standpoint is when I was in television, I used to have to write my scripts.
Yep.
So I typed a lot.
Yep.
And got to be very, very fast
Proficient.
at it. Even that's fallen off.
I still type a little bit.
Little, but not like I used to. I mean,
No.
it was every day I would do it.
For sure.
Yeah. So I used to do a lot.
You know what else is gone? Knowing people's phone numbers.
Oh boy, yeah. You have no. Yeah. And I used to know everybody's, all your best buddies.
You knew all of them.
Girlfriends, all of that.
You
I
had
probably
to.
still could give you a girlfriend's phone number, and I could not tell you. The only phone number I know is my wife's, and that's because it's like the code for like the Heinen's rewards. That's it.
I know a few more than that, but not many.
I guess I know my dad's because it's the same phone number he had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So if I call the house,
Yeah.
that would be. But I don't know anybody
He
else.
still rocks a home phone?
Oh, dude, come on.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Of course he does.
You might be the last person in America.
Oh, I have a home phone.
I do too.
What?
We had it. It's part of my cable bundle, and we did it because when the kids were little, I didn't want them to have phones. But if they ever needed to call 911 or whatever, that's why. So we've got 4 of them like around
Yep.
now. Like
I don't even know the last time either of us picked up a phone in our house, but
no,
like if my parents needed something in the middle
Yeah,
of the night, like
right.
because sometimes I'll put my cell on do not disturb.
Sure.
or
Yeah.
Silent.
yeah. But I have it. We had it for the kids so that they could pick up
Yep.
and do that. But once Bootsy gets a cell, then I'll probably be done with it.
But the problem is you get rid of the phone and all of a sudden the bundle like doubles in cost. So it's like, all right,
Yeah, I can't.
how am I doing?
Are you
this? 'Cause
so you and I are the last 2 cable holdouts?
No, I have Roku, but you had to
okay.
buy like
Yeah, you got to bundle this stuff up.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm definitely the last cable guy. There's not many of us left on that side of things. But yes, I do still have that. All right, we had some news. A bunch of people reporting that Nick Chubb's salary cap hit has been we've renegotiated that deal, and so from $15.8 million on the hit to $6.275.
Yep.
But he can upwards to $12.2 next season based on performance-based levels he was achieving in his season-ending knee injury last year. So we knew that this was coming, and now it's come.
Now it is here. Yeah, so a pretty significant savings, $9.6 million to the cap, which is good. And obviously he gets an opportunity to earn that back, as he should. I think it kind of goes and shows that there are opportunities for him, and there's an expectation that he's going to be able to be back and perform at the level we're accustomed to with Nick Chubb, but that it might not be for 17 games.
Yeah. There you go.
So I think that's where we're at.
Has Nick talked at all in the rehab?
No.
He's not on the record
I saw him
anywhere,
today.
right?
He looks great.
Yeah. We see him
Looks
every
great.
once in a while bouncing around, but I've never he hasn't spoken, and that's on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
Yes, and he has.
Nick Chubb.
Are we 2 weeks from the day to the draft?
Yes.
Right? Round 1, which we will sit
Is that
out.
right? That
I
is
believe that's right. It just occurred to me as I looked at
Today's
April
what?
11th.
The 11th?
11th,
Yeah,
yeah.
25th. Yep.
Yeah, so 2 weeks.
Not
2
for
weeks.
us.
Not for us. No, we'll sit it out. Boy,
Well,
it
I
would
won't.
suck if you had to do like a bunch of like hour by hour all the way through draft coverage if you didn't have a first-round pick. That would be tough. That'd be tough to do.
Would it be?
So luckily you don't. I mean, you will see on Friday, I'm sure.
How tough would it be if you had to do a 1-hour live TV show and then
No one would do that.
how many hours, Gibbe?
No one's doing that. On
How many
Thursday.
hours am I
Without
at-
a first-round pick?
How many hours am I under your yoke on Thursday?
Oh, no, it starts Monday the 22nd through Monday the 29th.
Give me writing you like Seabiscuit with the bit in your mouth.
All right.
Just-
Monday,
you
hold
for
on.
1 week.
Usually by Saturday, I've got to do everything I can. Like, I get into my, dude, it's going to be all right. We're going to get there.
We'll
Like,
get there.
Just a couple more hours, buddy.
Nurse
Come
him
on,
along.
Stay with
All right.
me. Stay with me.
So Monday is 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay. Thursday is how many?
4, 8 to mid. It's the
Friday.
first round. We always have fun, though. Like,
No, we do have fun.
They've actually
We do have
become pretty fun shows.
It's-
not having
is
a
it me
pick
and
'cause there's no
Monfrere?
stress. There's nothing. Like,
Is it me and Monfrere?
and Gerard Cherry.
Okay. Friday?
You, Ken, and Tyvis.
For how long?
That one's 7 to mid. By the
What
way,
was the Thursday number? That was a 4-hour number?
Thursday's
plus
a
an hour
4-hour number,
TV.
but Thursday you also have TV that you're going to have to do somewhere and then drive.
And then Saturday we've just scrapped, right?
No. Nice try. I did 8. Hold on. I went from noon to 4 to noon to 3 because we only
Okay.
have 3 picks.
And then Sunday I have TV again. And then Monday is 1 more hour of radio.
there you go.
Franchise. That's franchise hours right there. That's the franchise.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anything.
No.
I feel like that gets me a moratorium until at least June.
You're good. I'll see you at
Zagura
the
will
Greenbrier.
Zagura's going to play that. Yeah, Zagura's going to play that to the Greenbrier.
Yeah.
I would.
I will. I'm going to play those hits.
Rightfully so. It's the first round without.
We're just watching it like fans.
You're doing a fan show, is
But
what
it's
you're doing,
cool.
which is fun.
Like we
That's
I
kinda
was
fun.
going to say we've had some fun with it.
Yeah, that is fun. And then the 5 hours Friday. That's pretty grueling.
It's not the
That's tough.
greatest.
And the other thing that
especially
happens in
because
the
of
second
how late you
round,
pick.
even if you watch a lot of college football, 72% of these people you don't know anything about.
Correct, and
So
we
you
don't
need
go to
Dave.
the
We've
podium
got the
for
beast.
those
You got to have the
on
beast and have it be ready because otherwise you have no chance of locking that in. It's tough.
Can you video? I want a video of him reading that.
All right. Yeah, I can do that.
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I think he's going to be he'll be quite thrilled by it.
I hope he can read it.
So you are also, with him, everything is a means to an end. So you are probably the most asked about friend that he has right now, because of course there are 2 ways that he can play Fortnite: with his middle brother or with you. That's it. That's the list.
I feel bad. It's been a tough week for me.
So last night we had one at AAU practice in Stowe and one at lacrosse practice in Hudson, and then he was kind of bouncing between, and it was all kind of staggered. So I just kind of going from one thing to the next. And in between one of them, I stopped home, and my wife said, "Will you ask him if he's playing with Mr. Z?" And I said, Your
wife calls me Mr. Z.
yeah. And I go, I think she said, I don't know, she said Nathan, but whatever. But she,
I like
but
it's better for the story.
He
Yeah.
refers to it as Mr.
Yeah.
Z. And so I go, yeah. Because apparently he had told her, because his brothers were gone. So then he must have told her that he was playing with you. Now, one thing he does.
did try.
Okay. So that's what he does, I think, is he sees you. I'm sure he spams you a billion times. Play,
Yeah.
play, let's play. But then if that doesn't happen, who gets hurt if I play a little bit on my own?
Nobody gets hurt.
Nobody gets hurt. Right?
So my Xbox controls my whole entertainment.
That's what I tried to explain to him,
So,
because he said the other day, over the weekend, he said, he goes, but he's on, Dad. Why? I want to play. Why? He's on. I said, buddy, I'm guessing that he's running everything through that.
Yeah, so I could be
his TVs, he could be watching WrestleMania.
Could not even be me. It
Might
could
not be
be
you. Might be Miss K. Could be
Right.
Nana. Who knows? Yeah.
The children's.
The children's. So I said, I'm like, buddy, it's not just because that's, he goes, but it says he's on. And I'm like, pal. Yeah.
When is he when's Bootsy textable? He just needs to text me.
He doesn't have a phone.
So not yet.
Not yet. No.
Okay.
That'll come later. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what he was trying to do. He was always trying to find a way to.
Listen, I want to get on there. Tell him tonight. Tonight I have a shot to certainly get a match in.
Tonight might work.
drop-in.
Oh no, he's got lacrosse tonight, so he's out.
He's
tonight.
out.
Yeah, he actually has some activities.
Maybe Friday, getting down on
Friday could work. Friday might be a work. Okay. So his brothers have sleepovers planned for Friday, so he's like alone at the homestead, and he goes, his big ask is that I play Fortnite with him. He wants me to figure out how to play. He goes, me and Mr. G will show you how.
Yes, let's all do it.
I go, dude, I don't think I'm going to be good at this at all. I was never good at the shooter games. I don't think I'm going to be good at this. But so we'll see. So maybe Friday.
Oh man,
I'll
that'd
hop
be a treat.
on and we'll see how it all goes.
I would say we want Boods to be there, but we
Did
don't.
you never play GoldenEye?
We don't because, oh my God, loved GoldenEye.
Yeah.
GoldenEye was amazing.
Okay, GoldenEye not only is one of the greatest games ever. You obviously had to ban Odd Job. People couldn't be Odd Job. Wasn't fair. Had a smaller hit zone. But it had the best music.
Yeah.
Its theme song is like it holds up today.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like if you played it right now in the background, I don't know if in the control room there, if you guys have the GoldenEye theme at the ready, but if you
That'd be
did and
something if
played
they
it,
did.
everybody listening to this program, everybody participating in this program, we would all start like bobbing our heads because it's that much of a jam. It just, and then when the beat kicks in, oh my God.
Yeah, we're going.
It's one of the great songs of all time.
Certainly best video game songs of all time. Yes. That's amazing.
Good job, Paulus.
That Paulus on that? God, that's great. Good job at you, Nick. It's great.
Have you guys ever played it? Okay, who knows?
Oh my God, this is
Rick,
great.
you ever played it?
Even the like solo, like the story portion of the game was great.
It was all great. Yeah.
I mean, it was great.
They've never been able to do it again with a Bond
Not like
game the
God,
way they
that
did
was
with
so
that
good.
one.
What
That
a
was so
jam.
good. Yeah,
I mean, we played my
Different
fraternity.
screens.
In my fraternity, you had 4 screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 people, and like where you do the
Absolutely.
ones like
Yep.
to the death.
Yeah. No, it's great. That was an all-timer. That was certainly
Odd Job
That was
had to
good.
be banned though. That was like you had to do it.
just can you guys give me 2 minutes to just tell you what's happened like the last 24 hours with this Calipari stuff? Just because it's so much fun, and I just think it's fun whether you care about
coming
college basketball or
unglued.
not. So it becomes abundantly clear that what Calipari tried to do with Kentucky was the old, hey, we need to talk, but I kind of just want you to just change a couple things. I'd like to see a little bit more, maybe go on a few more dates. And what Kentucky said was, you're right, we do, let's break up. And he went, whoa, whoa, whoa. I did it. And then it was done. So the people I'm not even sure. I feel very confident talking to the people I've talked to in the last 12 hours that he had no interest in actually coaching Arkansas. But it was one of those things where it went too far. What are you going to do? And so it gave Kentucky a way out to get out of the $33 million buyout, which is what they wanted to do. Now, in the meantime, they've swung and missed on Dan Hurley and Scott Drew, the coaches at Baylor and UConn. So they swung and missed on those, which raises the possibility that Rick Pitino potentially could go back to Kentucky at 71
Come on.
for like 2 years until they find like a long-term guy.
So Calipari thought he overplayed his hand.
He overplayed his hand. They did not have he didn't have a ton of support for them. He's buddies with the Tyson Chicken guy. I'll get back to that. That led to I feel very confident he was trying to like leverage Arkansas against Kentucky so that Kentucky would like give him a little bit of room to breathe and like we're going to be fine. But it's my understanding from people who I absolutely trust and are locked in that like a week ago at this time he has absolutely no interest in coaching Arkansas. So last night he has a press conference where he says, among other things, I talked to the team. We don't have a team because there are no players because they're all in the portal and they're all transferring. He can't bring his Kentucky guys over because either they're like Dillingham and Shepard. Like Shepard would never go to Arkansas anyway, but like Dillingham's already gone to the pros. The rest of his Kentucky guys have all put their names into the NBA mix, so they can't come there until they see where they are on that. So he literally doesn't have a roster to deal with. So they had this press conference last night in which
So he took over a program with no players?
well, because they're all portaled. They're all in the portal. The portal's open now.
Can't
for
they
college
come back?
basketball.
Can't they say
They can. He can try and win back players, but he didn't recruit those players. And quite honestly, he doesn't probably want those players. He wants guys like the ones he has at Kentucky,
Yeah.
right? He wants pros.
Well, they don't grow on trees.
They don't, unless you go to Kentucky, and then they do. So, in this press conference, Calipari is asked to call the Hogs. So this is their big thing. Woo, pig, suey. They do that thing, right?
Yeah. Corliss Williamson, Scott
Yeah,
McDermott.
that's right. Yeah, Nolan Richardson. Which is, by the way, proof that you can win there. Like
Yes, they
Eric
were quite
Musselman
good.
was in an
Corliss
Elite Eight a
Williamson.
couple of times.
Corliss Williamson. Yeah.
Greatest quote in the history of the NCAA tournament, a guard on that team. This is a deep cut named Alex Dillard, who wore number 3 for them and shot it from forever and knocked it down. Jim Nantz asked him after in that run in '94, he did the Sweet 16 of the Elite Eight. What is your range, Alex? And he said, if you're in the gym, if it's in the gym, it's in the gym, Jim, was the answer.
It's in the gym,
It's in the gym, Jim. Alex Dillard was the player. Anyway, so Calipari, he won't do the woo pig suey.
Did he not know it?
Oh, you know it. Everybody in the South
Everybody.
knows it.
And he's been
there a lot.
Arkansas. Yeah.
The athletic director said there was a ton of people at Bud Walton Arena there, and he said, man, it's great seeing all you guys. We don't even play Kentucky tonight, meaning that the only time they pack the house is when Kentucky's in town. And the Calipari's sitting there, but that's not even the
He
best.
wouldn't do woo pig suey?
He would not.
Why not?
I don't know. So then the best, this is the best.
Okay.
Do you want to know what the loudest ovation was? The loudest ovation was for the dude who owns Tyson Chicken. The old dude who bought him. So they introduce it, put a spotlight on him, and the place gives him a standing ovation. We give a standing ovation to a booster.
That's
This
amazing.
is unreal. And to top it all
Where
off,
was Uncle Jerry in all this? Because didn't he play a role in this?
he did,
believe so.
but I think it was the Tyson Chicken guy that
Yeah,
really
it's-
did it.
the Tyson Chicken sealed the deal.
Yeah. So, buddy of mine, not buddy, but guy I know, Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio, from the radio business, you know it. I had him on this morning. And so the people at Tyson Chicken timed up. He owns a series of bars in Kentucky to go along with Kentucky Sports Radio. They timed it up that his bars would be delivered frozen. They have what are they? The Dino Bites, the Tyson Chicken Dino Bites. They got box upon box of Tyson Chicken Dynamites at the Kentucky Sports Radio bar down in Lexington. 3 minutes before Calipari took the stage to stick it to him. The crazy thing is nobody in Kentucky wanted him to stay.
They're all happy.
So you didn't steal anything. We pushed you out the door.
Why did they want it?
Just come on. That's all in 24 hours.
That's amazing.
That's great. That is great. Absolutely great.
I just who's next? You gonna
I
you
think
gonna go buy out Nate Oates?
Billy Donovan feels
Donovan
real.
said he was staying with the Bulls.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know why you'd do that, but
Well, the thing that's tricky, I'm sure he's weighing, is his name's on the court at Florida. And people at Florida, their most hated rival in basketball is Kentucky. So, your name's on the court there. Are you really going to nuke that to go coach at Kentucky? That seems like a lot. I don't know. I'm serious. I think they could end up with Pitino for 2 years.
that would be amazing.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And he can kind of close that chapter, and then they can worry about who's next. I think they thought for sure they were getting Scott Drew. I'm surprised Scott Drew didn't take it.
Yeah, why
Well,
wouldn't
his
you leave
wife
Baylor?
didn't want it.
That was Hurley's wife, I thought. Drew as well?
I don't know about
Nobody
the
wants to
Drew
go to
part.
Kentucky?
Yeah, Lexington's nice.
Yeah.
Good town.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Bourbon.
Got to think it's better than Waco,
I would think it's better
Yeah.
than Waco.
right?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of 90s touchstones, O.J. Simpson, dead at 76. There you go.
You know that I once upset my father a great deal as a young man.
I'm sure you did many times.
Yes. Well, one in particular
In regard to this,
ties to O.J. Simpson.
because he's a San Francisco legend, right?
We went to an A's game,
Uh-huh.
and we took BART, which was the Bay Area Rapid Transit.
Yep.
And you would have to walk from the BART station. You walked over this long bridge over a bunch of train tracks, and then that got you down, and then you could walk into the stadium. That bridge is, and always was, people are selling, A's jerseys and A's hats and
Yep.
T-shirts of this and T-shirts of that, and not, I don't think it's officially licensed
Yeah,
merchandise.
naturally, yes, yeah.
as it were.
Yep.
But I was walking and I saw a shirt that had OJ's face on the back.
Uh-huh.
It said, "Don't squeeze the juice on the back." Or
Yep.
OJ's face on the front and "Don't squeeze the juice on the back." And
Yeah.
I got it, and my dad was pissed.
Well, that
Never
would have
wore
been
it.
pre-murder.
It was pre.
Because Murder's 94 or 93.
No, this is it. This is when he was like the chase.
Oh, this
but,
was
like,
after.
Yeah.
After Murder.
This is when he was on trial, but you're innocent
right,
until
right.
proven guilty in our society.
Are you?
Well, not
He did
not,
write a-
not in my house.
Good for Pedro.
Yeah.
So that was 30 years ago. The trial.
Yes.
Yeah,
so 93
in
would have
94.
been like my
so yeah,
freshman year of high school.
freshman-ish. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see how he would feel strongly about that.
Yeah, he was not pleased.
Yeah.
I never wore it. Never was worn.
I bet not.
Yeah.
No. I interviewed him once. His kid Justin went to Florida State, and on move-in weekend he did an appearance in a bar in Havana, Florida, and it was on a Friday. And my news director wanted me to go interview him and go cover it.
When is this?
This is 2003.
Oh, this is post. Yeah.
Oh, well post. Yeah, like I was in my career at this
Yeah.
point. It's probably 2003,
Oh, obviously,
2,
yes,
3,
it was
4,
well post,
something like
yeah.
that. And I did not want to. But if you've worked in local news, if the news director says, I would like you to do something, this is what you have to do.
Yep.
So my photographer and I went out there. It was kind of a dive bar situation in Havana. And we went in, and, you know, you're going to talk to a guy who, you know, did it. So you go, okay, I get, I was terrified. And I went up, and, dude, he was so smooth, so charismatic, so devil may care. It was chilling. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I've seen, there's a lot of videos of
like-
him interacting with people on the streets who come up to him and like
yeah.
accuse him. And he's.
Well, I didn't get in any of that
No,
even.
no,
like,
but
we
I'm
were
saying
just
he
talking,
just is,
because I
like-
thought, well, that's probably off limits, you know. And I'm a sports guy. I'm 20
Yeah,
years old.
you're
Like, I'm
a
not doing that.
criminal. Yeah.
No. But, yeah, he
mean-
was quite charismatic.
Norm Macdonald
Yes,
got fired
that's right.
because he would not stop OJ
No.
jokes on NBC on Saturday Night Live, and they were like,
That's
"You can't,
true.
you have to stop." And he was like, "No."
Yeah,
There's an 11-minute video of all of
just
them,
all of them.
which are tremendous.
Watched it this morning. There's all. I mean, it's also like the first and last time I think that he hosted the ESPYs.
Oh, yeah.
Shouted out Charles Woodson. He's like, they can never take that away from you, unless you murder people.
Yeah, I mean, it
Everybody
was
like,
well, they didn't take OJ's, did they?
I think
They only took Reggie Bush's because he helped his parents get a house.
I don't know the answer to that. Did they
don't
take
think
the
they
Hall
did.
of Fame bust?
No, it's still in there.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember, it got stolen out of Canton and ended up on the side of the
that's what
road.
It was on the side of the high. I'm like, there was something that got stolen.
Stolen out of
We are all of an age where I'm not kidding you. Like
Do you
if you
remember this?
yes,
The Telestrator?
I do remember the telestrator.
Meadows?
Tim Meadows, great.
Unreal.
Yeah. I do remember that. I also remember a time before all of it where I don't think this is overstating. He was one of the faces of the NFL post player. He was one of the most popular, endorsed
Oh my God!
figures. The idea that, and the other thing is like we had no context on the domestic violence stuff at that time because that was so kept under wraps in L.A.
Yep.
There wasn't social media. There wasn't a way to Google things. You weren't looking up police reports.
No.
So there was no reporting on it. So nobody had any idea that there was a history. None.
Right.
So when it happened, it was like, that's impossible. And I was just thinking about this morning. Like him, Cosby, Michael Jackson, like those were like all faces
Oh yeah.
of our youth.
yes.
For sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
He was
Jeez.
Nordberg and Naked Gun.
He was Nordberg. That's right.
I mean, he was from a pop culture standpoint.
yeah.
I mean, some of the what was the rental car place?
Hertz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
I mean,
the
he
face of
was-
He
Hertz
was the face of Hertz. Though him running through, hurtling.
Yeah.
We've seen that. That was on
all the time.
omnipresent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good word.
Movies. He was actually a pretty good color analyst.
He
for,
was.
for the
NBC,
NFL.
right? He did NBC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, because NBC didn't know how to react. Like, he was one of the faces of their network.
Well, and it led to one of the greatest. I mean, when we had Al Michaels in here and we talked about farcical, like because Stern got on with Peter Jennings,
Yeah.
and Al's like, Peter, lest we, what did he say? Lest we think that's farcical, and he
Yeah.
went through that whole thing and he used the word farcical. First time I ever heard it, which was great.
It's the best.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's wild, absolutely wild. Somebody said, "Well, I didn't know he was sick," and I'm like, "Well, I wasn't keeping tabs either."
Yeah.
Like I'm
No.
not. I wasn't seeking out his content.
No.
So all right.
He was trying to do like motivational videos on X every day.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We will go around the NFL coming up next. Just the Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Medical mistake caused your injury. Call the medical malpractice attorneys at 100 Elk, Ohio. Elk & Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. As we go around the NFL world, NFL today, teams informed there will be revised uniform policy to allow teams a third helmet design. This expansion was afforded to teams that were going to go through the redesign process for the 2024 season and is now open to all clubs for the 25 season. If either alternate color helmet is paired with a classic uniform, the helmet colors and design must be historically compatible.
Right. So if you're wearing a throwback, it's got to be the throwback. Like the Broncos would need to wear, if they wear like their throwbacks, they got to wear that throwback.
The right helmet with the right
that
uniform.
helmet would have to go with the orange crush.
So they're they're going to get 3. Their uniforms come out the 22nd. They're dropping.
I think they might be the reason.
They might be the reason. So there's going to be. I'm sure there will be a navy, a white, and then probably a baby blue.
That's what they're
Elway.
Yep.
One is probably what they'll have.
Yep.
I do think this opens a can of worms to where this ends up like sometimes when my kids play Madden, and I'm like, that looks ridiculous. Like, I do like the uniformity of football.
I do, but I also like the ability to have, like, specials, and we're talking about 3 helmets, so I like that. I'm fine with it.
Which team do you not trust the most with this power? Which franchise?
That I don't trust?
That you think they're just going to – they will screw this up.
Like the Texans. I've been very impressed with anything they've really done.
You're always so down on that nickname, all of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's terrible.
It is horrible, in the words of your spirit
the
animal.
Titans. I don't know.
I feel like Atlanta.
But see, Falcons.
Because I know what's possible. Your counter is going to be, even when it's bad, it's good because it's black and silver and
you
red.
have the current black. You have the throwback black.
Don't they have a gradient?
And you have a red. No, they don't have a gradient helmet. They have a gradient jersey.
Oh, God, yeah, that thing's god-awful.
But they have 3 great helmets already.
Yeah.
The current black, the throwback black, and from the Jeff George, and then they have a red.
Yeah, because even if they did white,
White would be awesome.
which might look kind of cool for them.
Be great.
Yeah.
All white with a black falcon.
Yeah. Trying to think who else out there.
Like the Lions, I think, could do some cool ones. How about we get that fun old logo
Yeah,
on
that
there?
one's cool.
That guy would
Yeah.
be great.
Jarrah's got a couple.
Jarrah's
He's got the aqua one. Well, no, he's got the silver one and he's got a white one.
White. It was like their Thanksgiving one for a while.
Right. Yeah. I think the ones that are going to annoy me is when they put make it do a black helmet just for the sake of doing it, even if it's not a color. Some of those will probably annoy me.
Probably.
Yeah, like if the Dolphins, for example, came out in a black helmet, that would be pretty stupid.
No, but I could see the Niners because the Niners have that all black with red numbers, but they've never been able to wear a black hat with it. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think they've had to wear their
The standard.
standard.
Hard for me to imagine them in anything other than a gold helmet.
Yes. But that opens things up. There's no historical basis for
Well,
it.
so for that, like because they're not saying that you have to do a throwback. Like you can do anything you want.
Anything you want.
Yeah. So like they could have a gold helmet, a black one, and a white one if they
Or
wanted.
a red one.
Or red. Yeah. And we already have 2. We have the orange one and we have the white one.
Yeah.
So
The Raiders. I think the Saints, for example, look good where they have the black helmet version. They
Yeah.
have the gold.
yeah.
They could go for a white too.
That would be sharp. I love a white helmet. I think they almost
Yeah.
always look great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When don't they?
Yeah. So this is good. I guess there's not too much damage that can be done here.
You don't want it to turn into, even though I think they do a great job with it, you don't want it to turn into Oregon where you have a different helmet for every single game.
Well, the crazy thing
But
is like
they're actually pretty good at it.
they are, and that's their brand.
Right.
Too. I mean, and they've been doing that brand for 15 years now. The craziest thing about that is they had this one thing that they did better than everybody else, one clear thing, and then they let everybody else do it. And the person who was in charge of letting everybody else do it was their guy.
Was their guy.
So what made them unique, he allowed others to do. Now, I'm sure there was a great deal of pressure on him from other universities saying, hey, if they get 1,000 uniforms, so do we. So I'm sure there was
And
that
it's
was
all
real.
about the money.
Yeah, straight cash, coach.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah. So, no, I think it's the apex of this was probably a decade ago. There aren't many college teams that do this anymore, that have a bunch of different uniforms.
No.
They usually do like one game a year. Like Ohio State will do one game a year.
Like a blackout.
Yeah. But like last year they did gray. But like there's usually not much.
Do they have a one? They could do a sweet whiteout too, I think.
They've never worn a white lid.
That would look nice.
They have an all white uniform
Yeah.
with a silver hat that's gorgeous.
The white lid would look nice too.
They did wear a white lid in like 09 or 10 at Michigan, but it was a throwback to the Hopalong Cassidy era.
Okay.
So they have, and it had like numbers on it. It was clean, really clean look.
Yeah.
I mean, every anything juxtaposed with white on the helmet is just like ours. Like, you know, when you were head to toe white, that's a win.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have. There's been all those images of the face masks. I think Juan Thornhill put one up yesterday with the white hat with the white face mask. I don't know what's official or not, but it's being posted, so who knows?
I think there have been maybe some teases that would indicate that perhaps the white helmet could still be the one.
The one. Well, I love it. I think it's great.
Not the. I mean the white. What did I say?
You said the white helmet could
No,
be the
the
one,
white-
and then
no.
you give a very flirty look at the
Let me do
camera
that
as
again.
if to
Let me do it
seduce
again.
it.
The white face mask.
Yeah.
There have been some teases to that effect.
Yeah.
It's the classic face mask. That's what I meant to
Well, I
say.
thought Andrew Lind, who's always dialed in on the interview stuff, like he tweeted out an image of it.
Yeah.
Like it must have been at ownership meetings or something. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
Yeah. But the one that I saw from Thornhill was white hat, white helmet, or face mask.
Well, I think
As opposed
I think
to
the
white-
face mask will be
All
white, regardless of the show.
Irregardless.
Irregardless of the show.
I like it.
And we're still having fun.
The Masters underway down at Augusta. They were late. When did they finally go? Like 10:10. They had the ceremonial and then they went.
10:30.
Yeah, so it's underway down there. Is it Royan? Ruyan? Who's this guy? Who's leading? You know who this guy is?
I mean, right now it's Evan Ruyan, Fox,
DeChambeau,
who went undrafted. How about this? Uno's amateur Lamprecht is 2 under in 5th.
He's killing it.
Yeah, that's a problem for us.
Are you really locked in on that?
I saw him play one time, and he was doing really well. So I'm gonna took a shot on him.
Is he he's the guy who's huge, right? Like he's really tall?
I'm checking.
Xander Schauffele bogeyed 1. I hate to see
that doesn't do me any good.
No. Nobody. I don't know if anybody on my team's even teed off.
Yeah, 6'8", 220 pounds.
Come
even.
on.
Golfing.
Man,
Look at this image of him swinging, dude.
that's a big.
Him
mean,
and
that-
I are the same age too. That's pretty funny when you think about contrast me and him.
Yeah, you're all doing the same things. That was like when we saw Big Z last year at the Brown when we played with the fellas who won the rights to play with us at Westwood. Yeah, and Big Z was out there.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
That's a
another
big
gentleman.
dude swinging.
That other guy was
Yeah,
something else.
yeah. That's a lot of big swinging, brother.
Yeah. It's a lot of angles that you got to maintain.
It really is. I missed it not going right away. I
Agreed.
was ready for it to go right away.
So was I.
Yeah, this is 2 years in a row now with the weather down there. Not good. Not good at all.
By the way, Jameis Winston.
Mhm.
Is this in? I don't know if this is the run. Jameis Winston tweeting out a picture 3 hours ago that he will be wearing number 5.
That was his number at FSU. So
Let's work. Number 5, dog pound, dream forever.
how many of our single digits are still around? Are still available for purchase? 'Cause we've
Greg
got
is
swaps.
Greg is 0.
Yep. Greg. Juan is 1.
Juan is 1. Amari is 2.
Amari. Yep. 3 is Jerry Judy, right?
Yep, he took
Jerry's
3.
in 3.
I like that number.
3 always looks
Agreed.
good.
I
4,
agree,
obviously, Deshaun.
Yep.
5 is Jameis.
6, JOK. 7, Delpit.
No, he wanted 7. Didn't he go to 9?
Did he go 9?
I thought he moved to 7 because that was the LSU number that he
Well-
had.
Hopkins is 7.
No, he
D-Hop.
wanted 7.
Yeah, D-Hop
He
7.
wore 7. There are 2
LSU
iconic
thing,
numbers at
yeah.
LSU are 7 and 18. Those are the 2. So I'm sure he wanted 7, but D Hop's in 7. So
No, you're right. Yep. D-Hop 7, Elijah 8, and Delpit 9.
So 10's available.
Well,
I
that-
think that's it. 'Cause
are we sure?
Thornhill's
Is 10
1.
available?
10 was PJ Walker last year, but 10's also,
not a single digit. No. Isn't it amazing the NFL waited that long to allow this? Like, who gets hurt with this?
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Nobody.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Look, people are going to buy new uniforms when you change them up anyways.
Is there
So what's the deal with just allow the number changes?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the thing that sucks is if this is what I think sucks, and this has twice impacted me personally.
Yes.
NBC has a JOK 28. Okay? In fact, I remember being in the pro shop at the stadium when they were printing their first JOK 28s.
I have one too. It's now not the best.
Right. So that sucks. Right?
there
now,
should be a
Now, last year, we got a Delpit. Delpit's a stud. Beamsy kind of likes LSU.
Yep.
So we've got a Delpit. Well, now that's out. So there should be some sort of exchange or make good.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Now Delpit said when he announced it that he would do that for anybody who wanted. He'd swap them at some point.
But how are you going to
Chad
do that?
O'Shea.
How are you going to do that?
I don't know how he's going to do it.
That's really hard to try to do.
It is really hard to do.
Like, that's when, I mean, usually they, like in the NBA, like LeBron tried switching. LeBron was 23. He tried to switch to 6 so Anthony Davis could wear 23 when he first got to the Lakers. But the NBA wouldn't let him do it because they had already printed all the jerseys in 23. So he didn't get a switch to 6 until the next year.
Right.
And now he's back in 23 because Davis stayed with 3. But, I mean, it just stinks. Like, to not have some sort of jersey insurance on that thing.
Agreed. A jersey insurance. I like that.
I know, like, Fanatics has that through American Express. If you buy one and something happens within a certain amount of time, you can exchange it for the new one.
Yeah.
There's some of that. But it's just, with all this numbers changing, you should protect the fans a little bit on that. My 2 cents.
I'm with you. I hear you.
All right. All right, Gibbe. I'm looking at what is scheduled for next, and I'm looking at the time. Is that what you want to do next?
We're fine. We're
We're
good
good?
on timing.
All right, so we'll do that next.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Stefanski with Deshaun Watson coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Be part of one of the most passionate fan bases in the NFL. Join the Next Gen STM, presented by Ticketmaster. Official waitlist for your Cleveland Browns being a Next Gen STM. Best chance to become a season ticket member in future seasons. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/nextgenstm to reserve your spot today. And now here's some highlights with Coach Stefanski on Deshaun Watson and Quincy Avery's podcast, QB Unplugged. Let's have a listen.
With my
You're down.
Deshaun Watson, today we have the most special guest, the man in Cleveland, Kevin Stefanski.
I appreciate you, Q. What's
Kev, how you living?
I'm great, yeah. Hey, I'm honored. I'm honored to be on the very first live edition of QB Unplugged. So I appreciate you guys bringing in the live studio audience for me.
You know what I'm saying? The people said they wanted to see you. We wanted to see
Wanted to see him.
Well, I'm here to spend some time with my guy Q, the South Minneapolis kid. Talk a lot of ball over the years with Quincy and obviously Deshaun. We spend a lot of time in that meeting room. So this is what we do. We sit around, we talk ball.
For sure. We're going to get to some ball in just a second. But I want to talk to you about, so like when you get 2 Coach of the Years, like where do you put them? Is there like a room in the house you start dedicating these trophies to? Plan on getting some more?
Yeah, there's another trophy I'd like
Most definitely.
much more than that one. You know what's great about that thing is it's a representation of your team. You don't win that thing if you don't have the players. You don't win that thing if you don't have the coaching staff that are helping you. So I look at that as a collective award, and that's so I don't love talking about it, quite honestly, but I do love that it represents our operation, it represents our players, it represents our coaches.
And I say this, I'm going to give you your flowers, live, Coach. The things that you do for the organization, for this community, but for the locker room. The guys talk about it every day, talk about it all the time. I think that is a big testimony to what you and AB is doing for this organization, for this community, and it's something special. And we talk about it in the locker room, and I think that's why, we go out there every Sunday or whenever we're playing, and we give you 110% because you treat us like men, you give us our flowers where we need to, but also you push us hard enough to go out there on the practice field and compete. And then once we get out there on Sundays, it make it a lot easier.
Well, I appreciate that. And as you know, that locker room that's you guys. That's not my locker room. I trust the leaders in our football team. The things that you do in that locker room, I think it gets lost on people. Everybody sees what goes on Sundays, but man, there is so much hard work. Think about in the meeting room, in the weight room. I mean, that is so much that leads up to those games on Sunday. And without a strong locker room, it's too hard. So I'm blessed to have the group that we have, that culture that you guys have instilled in this place. That's what wins on Sundays, is just having those type of people.
Most definitely.
And then we talk about the offense, right? You came up as a play caller. You killed it in Minnesota as an OC. Came here, called a ton of plays. When you start building like a game plan, right? I've always wondered that as a head coach, as somebody who has to call plays, like what are you looking at that's like, okay, this week, this is what I'm going to do to kind of make us more successful as we go throughout this game. Yeah,
it's so interesting. I've been blessed to be on different offenses, different staffs, and like you mentioned, starting in Minnesota there. It's a feel. It's both an art form and a science. And when I say that, I mean in game, they talk about the feel of the game and understanding. All right, we got to get to this play. That corner just went out of the game. We got to attack that other corner. There's also the science behind it, and to me, I mean the process. Mm-hmm. The stuff that we do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is as important as the order of which the play comes off the call sheet on Sunday. So when we're in that meeting room and all the coaches and we're together, we're like, we love this play action. We feel like we're going to get man coverage. We're going to get Elijah to sell the far cross and come out of it. Here's why we like it, because here's what they've shown on tape. Those are the conversations and the play design. That's all happening during the week. Now, when it comes off the play sheet, that really is more to the art form of it, if you will.
Yeah, I bet, because it's art form, like just relaying the play. You had to do it to, 4 different quarterbacks last year, right? Those guys are getting a bunch of information, have to relay it to 10 other guys to make sure that they can execute a play successfully.
Yeah, it's so interesting. That play goes from that call sheet. All I have to do is read. That's the easy part. I just put my finger down and start reading. The hard part is getting it to the quarterback. Okay, now it's going in, he's covering his ears so he can hear it, and then he's selling it in that huddle to his teammates, and he's telling F, X, and being descriptive, selling it to those guys like, hey, this play is going to work. And then, oh, by the way, you got to go execute. Like, I get the easy part. All I have to do is read.
So I want to have a question, really, for the fans. Most of the fans see that, like last year we had, injuries at quarterback, so you have different, styles of quarterback. You have a guy that's a runner, you have a younger guy, you have a guy like Joe who's a vet, who don't really move as much as me or DTR or PJ. Do that change the thought process of calling a game?
Absolutely, and I think that's our job as coaches is how do you win this week?
Right.
And it changes week to week. Sometimes sometimes it's injuries. That's the part that we don't like. But sometimes it's, hey, this team is really good at defending this type of offense. So we can't. We'd love to get into empty, or we'd love to run two-back offense, but they're really good at that. So now we got to move and say, okay, how are we going to win this game? So that really my reflections from this year, which won't ever happen again, right?
Definitely.
But my reflections this year is like that question of how do we win this game changed quite a bit. And
right.
like you mentioned with the quarterback position, it's our jobs to run an offense that suits our players. And you better be thinking about the quarterback when you're putting that game plan together. So certain guys have different strengths. Certain guys like a different type of pass concept. You know that. There's certain plays like I could draw up 1,000 plays on the board. You might be like, yeah, I love that one. That one doesn't fit my eye. And that's cool because there's other plays that you can run. So for me, it's always what is a quarterback comfortable? What fits his eye? What do you have reps on? Like there's plays that you have thousands of reps on in your career. I love those plays because you love those plays.
Right.
Because when the ball snapped, you have this comfort level because you have plays in practice,
exactly
you've got plays in games, and I'm not going to mention the plays I'm thinking about because I want to keep our opponents guessing. But there's those plays where when I call them, I'm like, I know it's going to work because you're going to make it work because you just have that. You know where everything is happening on that play. You know where your third you know where the in cut is.
Yep.
You know where your check down is. So that to me is like putting the quarterback in position where he's super comfortable with whatever concept it might be.
Definitely.
That's super cool. And I've always thought about just a different type of quarterback you've coached, right? Like I've seen you call plays for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins to me is somebody who he can't wait to go one hitch, two hitch, next hitch, right? He wants to throw the ball on time, see those things. So I'm sure you coach him, you're like, hey, let's make sure we get our eyes here, right? But then you coach someone like Deshaun, it's like, yeah, but I need to be able to make these plays, right? I got to be able to extend. I got to be more creative. How do you find that blend, like coaching someone like that? Because yeah, you want them to find the completion early on, but then you want him to still be able to be the artist and the creative person that he is.
That's a great way of putting it. It is that is the art form because as Deshaun knows, like you can call a play and you're trying like crazy to get somebody open, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't, right? And that's where Deshaun's natural ability. Like I can think back even to that Cincinnati game we were just watching. I think the first third down, you took off running, right, and gained whatever 15 yards and first down and. Was the play call good? I didn't get anybody open for you. We tried, but you're like the great eraser. It's like, okay, cool. I'll take over. You are where the chalk ends on that chalkboard. So, for me, the fun part is we try to put together a system that fits our guys. So in this case, Kirk sees the game differently. Definitely going to want to be more under center. Goes through his progressions. Other players like, no, spread it out for me. I got a better sense when we spread the formation out. You watch certain teams that have really condensed formations. And I think, listen, there's 1,000 ways to skin the cat. But for me, it's always like what fits our guys the best. And as a play caller, as a designer, as an offensive coach, we love it when you got guys that can then play off schedule. Because how much of this game nowadays is played off schedule? You saw, take the Super Bowl. Take, Patrick Mahomes on that last drive.
That last drive, overtime.
Was he an operator? Yes. Was he also – so the ball – and sometimes the ball was – the big play was there – checked it down. And there was one play, I think they tried like a double move to Kelsey. I think we're in Kelsey's hometown.
Right down the street.
They tried the double move to Kelsey, and then Mahomes was about to go there, and then he found Jerick McKinnon on the check down. And like that to me is like such a great blend of players that play within the scheme, but also have that feel for playing this game. Because I'd love to tell you that each play is going to come to life exactly how we thought it was. It doesn't. You know that. I mean, shoot, you get that ball in your hands. It's like, oh, man. They brought that pressure they said they weren't going to bring, and they brought it. That's the part where guys like Deshaun, just the natural ability takes over to go make a play.
For sure. Well, the last thing I really want to ask you is, it looks like you guys have done a tremendous job in the offseason, building some not only great players, some great coaches, like a lot of different people into the pot, right? I know you got to be the guy who kind of stirs the drink, right? You get it all going. But how excited are you about, like, Jerry Jeudy, Dorsey, right? There's so many pieces. Then you guys brought all the guys back who I felt like, you need to get
big
back.
Pieces, big pieces.
It's so interesting, and you guys know this. Year to year, the roster changes. It does.
Yep.
And I've always said to AB, I want to keep every player. I want to keep them all, and you can't. So you do have new guys coming in. You have some new coaches coming in. We'll have some rookies coming in at the end of the month. That's the fun part of this game, where every single year stands on its own merit. But the big thing for me is every year you got to reinforce your culture.
Right.
And culture is people. So the people that we bring into our building, whether it's the draft, whether it's free agency, like you mentioned, some coaches, they got to fit your culture. And I think what we've done here, what we're trying to do every year is to reinforce that culture, make sure those guys understand what we're about, understand how we win football games around here. So that's the fun part of this business is we get to surround ourselves with people that want to win. And I just see that with like some of the names you guys that you mentioned already, Q, like guys that are coming in that want to win and want to win in a selfless way by playing the greatest team sport there is.
Most definitely.
Well, no, Coach, we appreciate you.
Hold on, before we get off though.
Okay, yeah.
This
Coach.
is now we can start
Yeah,
going.
I can do it a little bit. Since Quincy, he's a big golfer. What's your handicap?
I don't like to talk about that. You know, like you got to. It's not. I don't want to brag, so we'll let everybody
Okay.
keep wondering. I played with this guy. You're annoying, by the way. And here's why it's annoying.
30-30.
And then he's like draining 35-foot putts. It's the most ridiculous thing. It's like you were blessed. I bet you if there was a dartboard here, you're throwing like
He figured it out.
I'll
bullseyes.
figure it out.
It's annoying. Okay,
Most definitely.
so I don't possess whatever this dude possesses. I don't have that. But I like to keep things close to the vest.
Okay, cool.
We should ask what your handicap is, but we'll keep
Not
that
right
for
now though.
No, Coach, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to you guys winning the Super Bowl, really, really soon.
No,
Thanks so
thank
much,
you, Coach.
I appreciate
that.
you guys. Great
Most
spending time
definitely.
with you. And again, I'm honored to be the first guest in front of a live
Oh, yeah.
audience like this.
You're up.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, there you go. You're listening to WKNR 850 ESPN Cleveland, a good Karma brand station. Second hour of the program up next. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Bo here for my great friends at the James B. Beam Distilling Company. Some say that rye is having a bit of a moment. Overholt's been having a moment for over 200 years. The legacy continues today with A. Overholt, the latest chapter in their ever-evolving story of American rye. Taste what 2 centuries of its experience can make with a robust Pennsylvania-style rye whiskey. You're going to like this one. Boy, try it in an old-fashioned Manhattan. Either one of those, try it on the rocks. It's a win across the board. The newest thing in rye is also the oldest thing in rye, and it is available now. The NFL Draft, as I mentioned, is 2 weeks from today. In honor of that, the fellas in there want us to predict the top 10 picks. So if you can match our draft guru and see if we can match our draft guru Uno's predictions on it. All right. Caleb, 1. I heard something pretty interesting. You know what Bill Simmons said?
What?
He goes, have you once heard Caleb Williams say, I can't wait to go be the quarterback of the Bears? So he was there last week and they were like trying to woo him.
Huh.
But I haven't heard that either. Like usually when you're going number 1 and it's presumptive, you say things like what Baker did here. Like
Yeah, I'm
the one to turn around. Like I'm gonna be the one to end it.
Yeah.
But there has been none of that from Caleb Williams. And he's from the DC area.
Interesting.
And they picked 2nd.
Okay.
But Caleb Williams won.
All right. I have the same. I've got. Let's see. I'm pulling up. I got to pull up some mocks here.
I got Drake May too.
You do.
Yeah, I think they're going to go Drake May. I think it's going to come full circle. I think Drake May was the presumptive other quarterback in this draft all along. By the time it comes to 2 weeks, I think it's going to revert right back to where it was at the beginning, and he's going to go 2 overall.
I had Jaden Daniels.
I have
LSU.
Jaden Daniels.
From LSU.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a Heisman vote. I know where Jaden Daniels is
Well,
from.
some people don't.
And so do our audience. This is a smart audience, sir. I'm kidding you, though. I love you. You know that.
I was
All right,
told
so you guys
that when you talk about draft prospects, you're supposed to say their college.
Who told you that? Gibbe? Your draft coach?
No, I was listening to a podcast once, and somebody said if you don't say their college, people might not know who they are. It's not just like saying Aaron Rodgers. Some people don't know the college players.
I think that's fair if you're in the 3rd and 4th round.
Okay. That's fair.
All right, so do you have Jaden as well? So then you're inverted at New
yeah.
England. So you have Drake May, New England?
Yes.
I have J.J. McCarthy to New England.
I have
For a little bit of fun.
I have Jaden Daniels, New England.
So we're doing this based on there not being any trades.
Well, I'm going to do one right now. Here's a trade.
Okay, Minnesota.
If I would have done trades, Minnesota would have been in this top 4 because there's almost no way they're not trading
And they're
out.
taking J.J. McCarthy.
Minnesota goes to 4 to get JJ. I don't know that they need to. Where do they pick? Do they pick behind Denver naturally?
No, they were ahead of Denver. They were 11,
Where's Denver?
12.
Then I would just stay at 11 and take JJ McCarthy because I don't think anyone else is coming up to get him.
All right.
If
that's
JJ McCarthy gets to 4, if I'm Minnesota, I'd roll the dice.
Well, I think Minnesota's going to take Marvin Harrison. I mean, Arizona's going to take Marvin Harrison if they stay there.
Okay.
Arizona would stay there.
All right. I'm going to say trade JJ.
Okay.
Goes 4.
If I was doing trades, I would have had them trading up for any specific quarterback that's available at 4. Drake, JJ, whoever it is.
Whichever one of the other
And
ones.
I think,
Marvin's the obvious pick if there's no trade.
and then I would say, so we're doing the trade. So McCarthy. Then I think the Chargers take Harrison 5.
And that will be the fastest sprint to the board in the history of sprints to the board.
Yep.
If that happens.
Yep.
If they get to that point.
With no trade, I had Malik Neighbors going to the Chargers. So same kind of deal. You run straight there to get your star wide receiver.
Giants are at 6.
I have Neighbors there.
Neighbors there.
Yeah.
Seems like that would make sense.
I had a Dunze, so same deal.
Malik Neighbors there. All right. Tennessee at 7. What do they need? What are people mocking to them?
A lot of receivers and a lot of tackles.
Joe Alt from
I have
tackle
Joe
from
Alt
Notre Dame.
Joe Alt,
Bill
Notre Dame.
Callahan. Dad, will you come here? You get to make our first pick.
Sucks.
It does suck.
Falcons at 8.
I have Dallas Turner, edge rusher from Alabama.
That's what Jeremiah has as well. If I'm them, I just got Kirk Cousins. I've got London. I got Pitts. I got Bijan. Give me Roma
Dunze, and I'll have 3 studs and go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Because I didn't have a
Bijan.
Dunze, I went defense for them to bolster that side since the offense has been bolstered this offseason with Kirk.
Okay. Chicago at 9. Everyone has them going defense, right?
No, Rome.
I'm going tackle.
A lot of people have
Everyone's
taken
out.
Rome.
Will they get there?
Well, he would if Atlanta
In
took
our
Dallas
scenario-
Turner.
Yeah, then in our scenario, you take Rome Odunze and you have Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, and DJ and
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen, and away we go. Here's your chance for succeed, Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And then the Jets at 10.
I have Brock Bowers. from
The
Georgia.
tight end.
That would make
Tight
a lot
end.
of sense.
Kind of have everything else.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
They got the 2 receivers.
Yeah.
They're
That's
just-
a fun. If you're involved in this is a fun. I mean, that's 4 quarterbacks, 3 receivers. That's and Bowers has been the guy. And it seems like Bo Nix could go to Denver at 11 or whatever.
There's one defensive player in the top probably 11.
And with all due respect to offensive linemen, who we love, many of them,
yes,
a great deal. They're not. It's not that fun.
No.
Quarterbacks, receivers,
By the
that's fun.
Jeremiah has Michael Penix Jr. going to the Raiders at 13,
The only thing that's tricky with him is
and he does not have Bo Nix in the first round.
I don't think Mel Kiper did either. He just released
someone.
one yesterday.
I was talking to Mike Renner earlier this week, and he was
Yeah.
saying that he thinks that it'll be Penix who falls out of the first round. And you understand why people fall in love with J.J. McCarthy. Like, he's a leader, man. Like, the kid's a leader. He's going to be impressive in a room.
Yeah.
But he wasn't asked to do a lot of the things that some of these other guys were asked to do.
I think Minnesota's a nice fit for him, though, that offense. And
It
the
would be.
talent
He
that
doesn't
supporting
throw
cast.
much over the middle. He doesn't throw much.
If he
deep
doesn't
and
throw
out.
over the middle, he's not running those offenses.
Yeah. So I think they would want Drake May. I would like Minnesota to get Drake May because I like Kwesi. I think that would be a nice fit if they could get up in there. I do wonder if New England would. How crazy is New England to pick at 3? Or with all of, they need everything. Would they be really interested at 3 in hearing from Minnesota and saying, we'll take your 1 this year, your 1 next year, and throw in a 2?
You have to listen.
You'd listen.
If you're
yeah.
New England, I think that might be what you do. But I don't know how you could sell it to those fans to not take a quarterback.
So you think Drake May is ahead of Jaden Daniels?
I do. I think it ends up coming full circle. Where is Mac Jones?
Jacksonville.
Oh, that's
Back
right.
up in Jacksonville.
Man, that's fallen fast out of favor. He's so fast.
I just remember watching him when
I know.
I was like, this guy's terrible.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that well. All right,
remember
get you
that well.
an update on the Masters. Your Griff fact of the day. Your mailbag is available as well. Get those questions into Gibbe, and we will get to those coming up in about 15 minutes. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Ever thought about hitting a golf ball inside Cleveland Browns Stadium?
Yep.
Now's your chance. Upper Deck Golf. Play an epic round of golf inside Cleveland Browns Stadium the 21st and 22nd of June. Enjoy a unique VIP golfing experience while hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium down to custom greens on the field below. For more info, go to upperdeckgolfing.com to book a tee time. That's upperdeckgolfing.com. Time for the Griff Fact of the Day.
Fact of the day, fact of the day, fact of the day. It's the Griff Fact of the Day.
Only one U.S. president has been a member at Augusta. That was Dwight Eisenhower. And the famous thing for him is he's used to hit the tree that was at hole 17. It's been named the Eisenhower tree because of that. He long wanted it removed because he would kept hitting his golf balls off of it and it was in the way of the fairway.
Didn't it get taken out in those storms?
That's true.
Yeah, it's no longer there, taken out in 2014.
Yeah, with the storms down there. I heard Tiger talking about Augusta's, and he said he was talking about like coming back in there. Like he said, the first time he played there as a junior, and he got in at night. There were storms, so the first time he went down Magnolia Lane was much later. So he woke up. He slept in the Cronus. He woke up and looked out on Augusta. He didn't drive into it, which is like the traditional way that it goes, obviously.
Yeah.
But in that, he also said, you know, how thrilling it is, and he goes, to be a member, and then he goes, an honorary member. Like, he was quick to say that I'm not an actual member.
It's pretty
Isn't that
exclusive.
something?
That is
that,
wild.
like, he can't, I wonder if he wants membership, or does he even need it, because he can play
Maybe
whenever
he's
he
an
wants.
honorary member, so that's all he
So he
needs.
can play whenever he wants
Yeah.
to be able to do it. Who's this Fox cat who's 5 under?
Ryan Fox. He's in the lead. He's at 5.
Oh, he had an eagle on 8.
Van Ruyen is 3. Byung-Hun An is also 3. Taylor Moore 2. Danny Willett 2. DeChambeau 2. Corey Connors 2. And there's a bunch of people at 1. Of interest to us would be Phil Mickelson, Matt Fitzpatrick, Scotty Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, Victor Hovland on my squad. Your amateurs fallen all the way back to even.
Where's Scotty?
Scheffler 1 under.
Okay.
Rahm's even, but he's on the 4th hole.
Yeah, they're early on, right?
Yeah, they're all
3
better.
straight bogeys for the kid. Not good.
Neiman
He's cooked.
Neiman 1 over through 7.
Sad.
Rory 1 over through 4.
Yep.
Xander 2 over through 4.
That's bad for me. That's 3 over for me on 2 of those, because
Yeah,
I have
that's not
Xander and I
good.
have Neiman.
Yeah. Tiger hasn't teed off. Uno, remind us of the squads.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so the standings for everybody. I'm in first with 19 points. Z and Griff tied with 9. And then I think Bo has 1. Just lost the leaderboard. Bo has 7, excuse me, and then Gibbe and last was 6. So there's the scores.
Hold on. Hold on. I don't know if Bo actually has 7. So Uno was supposed to put your team in.
This
Yeah.
will make you very
Had
unhappy.
issues.
Had issues.
How did he have issues?
He didn't do it.
So Lowry, that we had Shane Lowry fill in for.
By the
In
time
your
we got-
international
By the
spot.
time we got permissions to go in and put
Well, Neiman's 1 over, so
So did you have Neiman for me?
We don't have Neiman.
we,
We had,
we will add
Oh,
we're
okay,
going to
okay,
calculate it.
okay.
So you
Do
have,
you have the rest of my guys right?
4 from Scheffler, 1
Scheffler,
from Schoffel,
Shoffley,
2 from Wyndham Clark.
Shoffley. I had Wyndham Clark.
Yeah, you stole him from me.
That's right. And then
He's
I
got
had
2 points.
And then I had
And you have Neiman.
Neiman. Okay.
Who are my 4? I have Rahm.
John Rahm, he's got 3 points. You have Tiger later, Cameron Smith, and Victor Hovland. Smith and Hovland each have 4 points.
Yeah, Hovland's. They're both 1 under.
Griff has Spieth, Justin Thomas, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Tom Kim.
Yeah, but a lot of these people haven't played yet.
Yeah, and then Gibbe has Hideki Matsuyama, Brooks Koepka, Rory, and Siwoo Kim.
So Brooks is at 406, Spieth's at 418, Deej is 430. Freddie Boom Boom Couples teeing off at 224. That's coming up. That's pretty cool.
We'll get a better idea of all the scores tomorrow. We
Yeah.
can go in and edit Bo's numbers,
Yes, good.
and when everybody tees off, obviously.
All right. There you go.
There it is. That's
There
your
you go.
Masters update.
There you go. Little mailbag on a Thursday.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. And be part of one of the most passionate fan bases in the NFL. Join Next Gen STM, presented by Ticketmaster, the official waitlist of your Cleveland Browns. Being a Next Gen STM is your best chance to become a season ticket member in future seasons. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/nextgenstm to reserve your spot today. Time for the mailbag. Hello, Gibby.
Hi, boys. All right, you can tweet at the show at Browns_daily. Cleveland is the reason, tweets at the show. What is your favorite genre of music? Do you guys listen to any good podcasts you could recommend?
Other than this one?
Two-parter there.
And there's a great podcast called Bishop and Friends. It's very good. I like a lot of the Ringer stuff. I like the Cuz and Bill on a football Monday. I like if it's a movie I watched, I enjoy the rewatchables a great deal. And then some of the other ones I do just to keep an eye on what's going on around in college sports, so like Feinbaum, or I'll listen to those every once in a while if it's a big story thing, something like that.
So I've got Pardon My Take I enjoy. The Cousin Bill I had, rewatchables, and then Origins, which is, if you're a Curb fan,
yes,
the Origins of Curb. Then you get the one of like ESPN, SNL.
That one was good.
They're all very, very good. So those would be the ones. And then now there's the history of Curb Your Enthusiasm with Jeff and Susie, where they go through every single episode, which I think I'll listen to, because why not?
Be fun to pair that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. Jeff has to let Susie talk, though. He has to let Susie talk.
Oh, he does.
He interrupts her.
Oh, does he really?
All the time.
I watched one last night from season 1.
One of their episodes?
No,
episode
of Curb. Itself? It was the second to last one. It was affirmative action. It's very good.
Yeah.
Lewis has one of the funniest comebacks ever in that one.
And he looks a lot different.
Looks very different. By the way, also, Lewis's girlfriend in that is the female mob boss when Tony goes to Napoli in The Sopranos season 2. Same actress.
Yeah.
Same actress.
Good
catch. That's a great call by you. Yeah.
I hadn't seen that episode maybe since I watched it originally.
Yeah. And then for music, I like all genres. I can listen to.
Me too. Yeah, they like their own.
Rap, R&B,
I don't think I'm gonna
pop,
I'll go a step further.
Country.
I would tell you,
classic.
I don't think my kids even know genres of music.
There's no music.
They don't know eras, they don't know when it's from, and they don't know genres. It's just, does this sound good? Yep.
Yeah. Do I like it?
So we grew up in an era where you had to change the channel to this type of music.
Yep.
They're in a world where
everything
just fed
crosses
them.
over.
Yeah.
Bill Braden, what does the redoing of Chubb's contract mean for his future with the team?
It secures his future with the team for this season, and then it's, I think, a very positive development on both sides. Andrew Berry said they want to keep him here. They want to keep him here as long as humanly possible, and this is certainly a very positive step towards that.
Cole tweets at the show, what is one sport you hate talking about?
That I hate talking about? Well, I don't hate talking about any of them.
Me neither.
But I think the two that I think there are three that are really cumbersome talks for what we do for a living, and I think it's the other three major professional sports in this country. I think baseball's a really hard talk. You play 162 games.
Baseball.
So
yeah.
And hockey and the NBA are the other two. All of those sports, there are silos where people care greatly about them, but it's not as many people as you think who are watching it every day, and so it's very difficult to have like a substantive conversation about any of them because there are people who watch it religiously, but it's a dwindling amount, and everybody else watches it casually. So like what we do on a Victory Monday,
yeah,
how we break down a Browns game, or what I do with a Buckeye game, you cannot do that when you're playing 82 games. And you can't do it when you're playing 161. You can in the postseason. You get the postseason, yeah.
Sure.
You can go over it, fine-tooth comb. Day to day?
No
chance.
Too much. Yeah, I like talking about all sports. I just don't have the interest that I used to in baseball, and I don't have the knowledge in any way, shape, or form about hockey. I can talk about football and basketball all day.
Yeah.
And golf.
Preston tweets at the show, as you can do at Browns_daily. A group of aliens crash land in Cleveland, and the boys at CBD get a hold of them. You have to explain the greatness of modern cinema and showcase one movie for each of the following genres: action, thriller, rom-com, sci-fi, drama.
All right.
Okay. So I would just preface this by saying that none of mine. I don't. If he considers modern cinema my lifetime,
That's what I
But if he's
consider it to
doing
be.
like the 2000s, then
No,
it's
I
going to be
consider
very
it to be my
different.
lifetime.
We also should have
I
a
think we
comedy.
should just do our lifetime.
We should do comedy. There needs to be a comedy one that I would introduce them to.
Your nominee for action, gentlemen.
Commando.
Gladiator.
Thriller?
7.
Basic Instinct.
I like it.
7.
I think that's the best. 7 is, but it's. I mean, it's pretty
But
scarring in the
But
end.
we also
At the
want to.
end.
We want these aliens. I chose things I want these aliens to be like. Okay, these guys are pretty
Well,
formidable.
Basic Instinct would do that too, right? As beautiful as they may be, they can kill you.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Little rom-com?
Wedding Crashers.
Love Actually. I don't think Wedding Crashers is a rom-com.
What do you mean?
That's
Well, I did that because there wasn't
now
a
there's a
straight
comedy. So now there's a comedy. So do traditional rom-com.
So you do Love Actually.
Love Actually is my favorite rom-com.
It's a fine film. The Holiday is also an excellent one, even though it's another Christmassy rom-com. I think Wedding Crashers is a rom-com. It's comedy, and you got the romance.
It's definitely not a rom-com.
Of Owen Wilson, and you have
Which is the suckiest part of the whole movie.
But you
is
have
him walking on a beach.
What about Vince
It's
Vaughn?
it's the most forgettable part of the whole movie.
Vince Vaughn and his girl, not to mention Todd.
You're a very persuasive human with a great deal of intellect. There are no words you could come together where you're going to tell me Wedding Crashers is a rom-com. If you want to go comedy, I'm all for it. Rom-com, I think you got to go more of a traditional rom-com.
The whole second hour is a romantic comedy.
It's not the whole second hour. It doesn't. It's,
Once they get to the island, it's a rom-com.
I don't think so. You motorboating. There's no way.
I do think
There's
so.
no way that's a rom-com. That's comedy. So then you could take almost any comedy then. You're telling me Old School's a rom-com? Is that what you're trying to say? Old School, rom-com.
Yes.
You
Now-
are out of
Hold
your-
on.
No,
hold on.
The
Hold
look
on.
on
Get
your
it
face
high
told
on
the real
top of that
truth.
grenade.
We should have said we called the real truth. With the old cameras, we could have zoomed in on you, and you knew I cooked you when I said
No,
Office
because I had
Space,
to
and you
think-
went
No, you said Old School.
or Old School, then you went, oh God, that's definitely a comedy. That it's not a rom-com.
Hold on. There's the whole film is about his love.
Okay, then
with,
every comedy's
what's
a rom-com.
her face from
Okay, then
Grey's Anatomy?
Caddyshack's a rom-com.
Who's the love story?
Anybody with lacy underalls.
No, but that's not love.
Doesn't he stay with the girl that he knocks up in the end?
Maggie?
Rom-com.
I don't think so.
Rom-com.
No.
You totally can make that argument.
Sure, if everything, anytime where people get together at the end is a rom-com, then that's a
Hold
rom-com.
on. The initials. Okay, let me just
Put it
lay
on the
this out.
poll.
Hold on.
Put it on the poll.
For Old School, the initial scene that kicks the movie off is him being
Yes.
betrayed by
Betrayed.
his current girlfriend.
Yeah.
And immediately he is consoled and always had a crush on the girl from Grey's Anatomy.
Sure.
And his storyline is so much more
Understand
about her than the fraternity. Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, they're pure comedy in that
And his
movie.
part is
He's
all
romance.
Then his part is the most forgettable part of the movie.
Agreed.
Yeah. So that's
They're
a comedy.
trying to make a comedy.
I don't even- you'd
also
have to
be
do,
a rom-com because they want to have a full audience.
Sure. Like so Superbad, rom-com.
I mean, he is in love with that girl.
Even Uno.
American
knows.
Pie. American Pie.
You're the franchising.
American
they all
Pie
know.
rom-com.
They're all rom-coms. There's never been a comedy in American cinema then. These aliens are going, God, really? Is there anything funny? All of this is rom-com? Here's
What
the
am I
difference.
asking on the poll?
Office
Rom-com,
Space.
rom-com has to... No, there's Jennifer
No,
Aniston.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
correct.
Aniston, that's right. See?
There's not a single
You
comedy.
see what I did there? I just laid it out so that you flipped it around.
There's not
and
a
now
s-
you're calling it a rom-com.
Okay, so then what you have done is you have
You had
taken
come
away...
unglued, and I re-glued it.
No. You have taken away the genre comedy film.
Well,
That's
because
what
we
you've
weren't
done.
given one, to be fair.
Okay, so now that's the real truth.
What's
That's
the
real.
poll question?
It doesn't matter. All right,
Don't worry
so
about it.
Love Actually rom-com.
Fine. I'll do The Holiday because I really enjoy that movie.
That's a great one. All right, what's next?
You just want the comedy
sci-fi.
or sci-fi?
Star Wars.
So I said Independence Day because I don't want them to be like, listen, aliens,
Also rom-com.
listen.
Boy, it is. They get married before he goes
So
save the
Star
world.
Wars.
So many they're all rom-coms.
They're all rom-coms.
Everything's a rom-com.
Cliffhanger, rom-com.
Rom-com. What are you at? Drama?
Drama?
I haven't even seen this, but I was thinking in the way that you were with Independence Day, Oppenheimer. This is what we're capable of.
Yeah, don't try us.
Yeah.
So I wrote Last of the Mohicans because
That's your film,
I had to, but then I also included Goodfellas as in,
Just so you know
just so you know. All right.
what we're capable of.
Yeah, exactly. And then comedy, I said Caddyshack.
I went Wedding Crashers on that.
Both rom-coms.
Yeah, both rom-coms.
Ryan tweets at the show, when you guys travel on the road for games, do you have a favorite place to stop for drinks or a meal, or do you go to different spots each time you visit a city?
It's probably
Tell you
vary
what,
that, don't you?
The Mastros in Houston has done very well by me.
Just ask Gerard.
It was
He
his
was
highlight
still
of the season.
The highlight of the entire season. It's Mastros.
Yeah.
I'm
Baltimore, we like to go to Azumi.
This is what and you guys do it still all the time, but when I was doing it, certain places had like, I can't wait to go back there. And then others were, let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
by the way,
Ruby's in Cincy. Jeff
Take
Ruby's.
take out the location of the city. What is your guys' favorite road game setup? So what I mean is land, great hotel, proximity to places. Like take away like climate and all that.
Good question.
Baltimore's great,
Yeah.
especially when we stay on the other side hotels.
The Inner Harbor.
When we stay in the Inner Harbor, and then we can literally walk to Azumi.
You can walk to Little
Walk
Italy.
to a ton of different bars and restaurants. Baltimore's pretty great. Easy airport ingress egress.
Cincinnati's not awful, but the stadium sucks.
Yeah, but it's a pretty long drive in and out.
Well, yeah, you're coming from northern Kentucky.
Yeah, it's a long drive in and out.
Although that
Denver's
ride from
drive-
Baltimore, like you could be BWI. We've also flown out of Reagan, haven't we?
The drive, I think we flew into. No, maybe once.
I think we did because we were on a bus for like what seemed like 2 hours.
Reagan's the coolest
Reagan's
airport
right
to
downtown,
fly into
though.
in the world, I think, with all the monuments. It's amazing.
yeah, Reagan's amazing.
Maybe it's not Reagan.
We
What-
flew into
what's the other
Dulles.
one?
We flew
maybe.
into
Yeah,
Dulles.
I think we flew into Dulles.
Denver's too far.
Yeah,
It takes forever.
it does take.
I mean,
forever.
if we do LA like we did,
Well,
that was
pretty good, yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's probably the best one that we've had. Yeah, the Niners isn't good because I'm curious to see what Vegas is like. I'd imagine Vegas has to be pretty good. Quick airport,
Quick airport, man.
great hotel.
Yeah. Well, they're going to take you guys. You're going to be at that place where the Lake Las Vegas is where you're going to be.
You think?
They're not putting you on the Strip.
No.
There's no way. No. You're going to go Lake Las Vegas.
we're not even allowed to walk
There's
through a
go-
casino.
Yeah, no. There's a golf resort that's out Lake Las Vegas. Who was
Isn't
just
that
there?
where the 49ers?
We were just
trained
there.
for
Yeah,
the
the
Super
Niners
Bowl?
were there for the Super Bowl. That's
Yeah.
what that's where you're going to be. You're going to be out there. I bet you that's where all the NFL teams go when they play there.
Philly,
But-
no. Beast,
In
Redskins.
Philly, do you stay
the
in that
Commanders is
absurdly
terrible.
high hotel?
That's right on the river.
There's the one hotel there that is like,
No, we don't. stay
No,
in
that's where the
absurdly
NBA
high.
teams stay.
yeah,
Where there's like a restaurant or a bar, like at the
yeah,
all the way
wait,
to the top.
and it's like forever,
yeah.
like 50 floors or something.
Atlanta's not bad.
Just depends. where
Airport
we
right to
stay in
downtown, and
Atlanta.
we stayed at a nice hotel downtown. I mean, there's not a ton to do downtown, but Atlanta's easy to get around.
I'm trying to think of the.
Baltimore's
other ones.
probably when we stay in the Inner Harbor. Baltimore's pretty great.
Kansas City. The bus ride kills you,
Can't say yeah,
but downtown's not awful.
it's fine. Carolina for the Panthers isn't bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Tampa's
Shout
not
out
bad.
Rocco.
Tampa's not bad.
Yeah.
We have great hotel.
Well, it depends. It depends which hotel we stay at. Because if we stay in downtown Tampa, or if we stay out on the water near the stadium, that resort that we
Yeah, that
stay
was
at
awesome.
periodically is second. It's the best hotel.
That's
that we
Tampa?
stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tampa.
Tampa. Janko, my buddy, texted me, is Happy Gilmore now a rom-com? Come on.
Yes.
For sure. So's Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Yes!
So's every movie ever made.
He wants Veronica Vaughn. That is a central story.
They're all
to the theme.
rom-coms. They're all rom-coms.
How would you describe a rom-com.
You know,
It is a
Jerry
romantic.
Seinfeld said this once to Larry David. He said Larry was complaining that his wife that he won't have a cup of coffee with his wife, and this was on Comedians with Cars. And Jerry said, Larry goes, "Isn't that ridiculous? You won't have a cup of coffee with me?" And Jerry goes, "No, but I see her point." And he goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You sit down and order a salad. I order an ice cream cone. We're both having dinner, but they're not the same thing." This is what I think about your rom-com thing. There's a tone to rom-com. There's a tone to it. Rom-coms are clever, not funny. Clever, not funny. There's a big difference between clever and funny. Example, you're probably not going to belly laugh in Love Actually. You're going to chuckle.
You should.
You're going to find it clever, but you're probably not going to belly laugh.
When Billy, what's the singer's name?
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye. Yeah, when
But
he's,
I forget what his name is in the.
Bill Nye's the science guy.
No, Bill Nye is the
Is
actor.
the actor? Is he Uncle Billy? Does he call himself?
Yeah, it's your Uncle Billy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his last name isn't that.
He's gonna
But
give you
yeah.
some belly laughs.
He's really good, but it's not like Dumb and Dumber.
No.
So
Could make the case when he hits her with
Rom-
the snowball right in the kisser.
romantic comedy.
Rom-com.
They're all rom-coms. Every movie ever made is a rom-com.
I was
There's
just,
a tone
I
difference.
I would agree.
I know what you're doing.
I would agree.
You were trying to get Wedding Crashers in, and so you
'Cause
used
we-
rom-com to get it in until we added the comedy category.
Yeah, like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, rom-com.
Yeah, that stuff.
Jared
The Wedding
tweets at
Planner.
the show.
There you go.
You have to hit the shot of your life to win the Masters. What club do you want in your hand? A driver, an iron, or a putter?
Well, the putter is the only one that's going to be to save your life, right? Like the driver isn't going to save because you're going to play the whole hole.
I don't know.
Which one are you most, as someone of your playing powers, which shot would you be most nervous for? If you have a one-shot lead at Augusta,
Yeah.
would you be most nervous on the tee, in the fairway, or on the green? And let's say the putt is 18 feet. You're in the fairway.
18 feet, and I just have to two-putt?
No, it's further than that. So it's going to have to be like 35 feet, probably up above it
Yeah, I would be much more nervous for the putt.
for the putt.
I'm going to hit it somewhere I can hit it again, and I'm a good iron player.
Yeah, so you're fine with that. So it's the putt.
Yeah, because
So that's what you just saw here, though, folks, is a difference between a really good player and not. I would be terrified on the tee. Terrified.
Hey, when you've been playing well.
Well, I don't know that I've been playing well. That
You're
wasn't part of the
leading
question.
Augusta.
Well, I guess that's
You're
true.
winning the
I felt
Masters.
like I was paratrooped into the circumstance. Yeah, because the one anytime that circumstance comes out in golf, I'm always nervous about the tee shot.
By the
I'm
way,
worried
I would-
about him spraying it right, left, and everywhere.
And if you're
else.
leading at Augusta, you're probably putting pretty well on those greens. But that's the nerves, I think, have an opportunity to affect a putt much, much more than they would. Now, the good news with the putt is you have two chances, right? You're from 35 feet. Even if you hit a 10 feet by, you still have to just make a 10-footer to
make
win.
a 10-footer, yeah.
But that would be the heart. I feel like that would be very scary.
It's if you fly
It's
it.
if you're
That's the problem.
in the back.
Because on 18, they always put the tee at the same place. If you're in the back and you have to two-putt from back there,
You gotta
that
get
would
down
be
that hill gently.
that sucker could go
Yeah.
gone,
Goodbye.
over.
See ya.
Yeah. When you played, where did you hit your shot, your second? Oh, we're up against it. I'll ask you in the break. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Oh, man, the author of The Beast joining us tomorrow.
Yeah, Dane, let's go.
The question I was going to ask, because I don't want the audience to think, I was curious where your second shot at Muirfield on 18 went, because I want to know what your
Well, it was
putting
my
situation
third
was.
shot
Yeah.
because I thought a good drive down the left side.
Yeah.
That never stopped rolling and went all the way into the water. And I was like, wait a second.
What
I
happened
thought
here?
I hit it perfect.
Right.
30-30.
The caddies didn't help you with that?
They did. I was probably a few yards left of what I wanted it to be, but I mean, it landed well into the fairway.
Yeah,
it just
and then it
kept
just-
going.
Yeah, it'll do that. So you played
That was like
what time of year?
September.
Okay, that's why. So in the spring it would stop because they
Yeah.
would have the rough up.
Yeah.
And it would stop. But they have member cut by that time of year. All right, next level coming up next. We're back tomorrow. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.